think that David's Bridal Bride is somebody who values a beautiful dress, and actually top-notch quality and design intent, but has, a budget, and, could be anybody. Everyone's invited. We are open for everyone to come and be a David's Bridal Bride, and I feel and believe that if they come to us, we can meet their needs. If there are three things to remember, it's coverage, soft, sexy. So if we say coverage, soft, sexy, it's CSS. So that's the most important thing. So coverage goes across soft and sexy as well. So we're seeing, a lot of coverage, but coverage doesn't mean, covered and modest. Coverage can be very sexy. So there's, a whole trend towards, long sleeves but deep V back. Illusion necklines that are high, but then, deep V fronts. All different types of sleeves. So we have cap sleeves, elbow sleeves, long sleeves. But coverage is very sophisticated, and it also can be modest, but it doesn't mean dowdy. Coverage is very, very sexy. We've seen actually a large trend towards soft dresses, and that's going across all price points and all brands, from the top to the bottom, from $99 to $2,000. Soft dresses, especially out of lace, we've seen a tremendous amount of just desire for and product acceptance. And that's really a trend on multiple levels. More beach weddings, destination weddings, really lend themselves to that soft, flowy. But I think it goes beyond that, and it's just there's an ease about it. There's a romance about the soft dresses. She feels, just lighter, and I think that that's just how she wants to feel. We also had a call out for, sexy dresses, that there was really a need for that. So Galena Signature is really going to speak to that sexy bride. With we've seen a big influence from Israeli designers, and they really have that soft, sexy look. And so we've, have used that brand to get that across as well. Prints are really actually important going forward, specifically in bridesmaids. And I think there we're seeing it's just the soft print. It's a very soft kind of watercolory print in pastel colors. It's really important in terms of just juicing up the bridal party. Maybe they all wear prints. Maybe it's just the maid of honor wears the print and the others wear the style. But we're seeing a lot of it on Pinterest and Instagram and all of the bridal sites. So the importance of it, we want to make sure that we address the trend so that we're appropriate. Jenny Packham is a really amazing person. She brings a certain attitude that we haven't had, and a certain elevated style, through intricate beading, soft silhouettes, and different fabrications. I learned from back, many years ago about Jenny Packham and her quiet elegance, and just the way her style was very, sort of ethereal, and it was very soft, romantic, and very very wearable. There's nothing about it. It's very inclusive, and yet she dresses these really amazing, powerful, women. I always love seeing Kate Middleton in her dresses. That was the first time that I ever heard of Jenny Packham, when Kate Middleton was wearing a Jenny Packham dress. The DNA of the Jenny Packham bride is somebody who wants soft elegance. She is soft dresses, eloquently beaded, that are, one might say, simple and yet not. So they're clean, and they're just beautiful. When you meet Jenny, she is this amazing, kind, soft-spoken woman. When you work with Jenny, you see this amazing, intense woman who is very, very keen on, who she is, who's her customer, who's her bride. And she has a laser focus on every single detail. So it's really awesome working with her as she pulls out her sketches and her boxes and boxes of hand beaded, samples, and we just start to put together sort of what's in her mind, with our design team. And she's just so true to herself that it's just, you grow to love her and the product just because of everything that everything that comes from her, which is just so rare when you meet someone that's so captivating and so clear on who they are and what they want to be. And at the same time, she listens. She really listens, not only to what the needs of our business are, but who our bride is and what she can bring to David's Bridal. So it's really been a really special relationship. The two most important things to remember this year in the assortment is across the board, all categories. Number one is the Plus initiative. So we've gone through every single department in the business and looked at what we offer in plus size, not only from a style perspective, but also from a size. So it's breadth of style choice and also depth of sizes in the store, and also how many sizes we carry. As a style crosses over into larger sizes for the curvy customer, if we have to make style, adjustments on the dress so that it fits her body, we do. But it's still the same dress because she's not a different person. She wants what everybody wants, and we want to give it to her. And through that process, we will dominate the plus market, not only in bridal, but across bridesmaids, mother of the bride, social occasion, and even down to accessories through shoes, wide width shoes, sashes, and even in gifts, we are also doing, plus size robe. And I think that that's a really big point of difference than where we've been in the past, where we didn't have the in-store selection for you across all price points for the curvy customer. So I think that this is an extraordinary opportunity, and one which we're going to see not only in bridal, but it's going to go across, all categories. You'll see extended style offers, and you'll also see extended sizing. Opening price points is an initiative, but to be clear, opening price points does not mean cheap. So it means an opening price point in a category which really provides offer, in terms of meeting the customer's needs. So we have opening price points that are on the low end, and so in bridal it would be under $600, but we've intentionally done opening price points in designer as well. So we've paid close attention to designer gowns under $1,000, just under $1,000, and then just over $1,000. So to keep, to be more inclusive from a price perspective is really very, very important. And the same would hold true in bridesmaids, starting at $99, making sure that we have those $99 styles that we didn't have before. And we have the same thing in shoes, having shoes at $50 and under, which we had sort of walked away from. And we've done the same thing across all the social occasion dresses as well. Our stylists are going to be, more empowered to sell because we've got these opening price points, and that's going to give them more options for people that are price sensitive or have a certain budget. Just give them more tools. Our jobs is to make sure that we're giving them the tools that they need to drive the business. I think this is one of the last tools, that they need in their arsenal to really meet everyone's needs. So in every category, you'll find much stronger opening price points in your good bucket, your better bucket, and your best bucket. Our stylists really need to feel empowered, and I think the way they feel empowered is really through product knowledge, by us giving them, an assortment that meets the business needs, and they have to really, take the time to learn the product, love the product, feel comfortable in the product. By that, they'll feel very empowered. I think when you have amazing product knowledge and you're comfortable with what you have to sell, you're going to sell it. So the more you know it, own it, love it, touch it, feel it, you're going to love it. And then by that, it will translate to your customer. And when you love something and you're feeling great about it, it's contagious. It's, someone else is going to feel great about it, and they're going to be like, wow, that's awesome. She really loves that. I must love that too. So I think that's really, really important, that to feel empowered is to have knowledge. No matter what you want to be on your wedding day, and no matter who you are, there's something here for you. And everybody can get what they want, from not only from the bride, but the mother of the bride, the bridesmaids, social occasion, grandma. You could come 3 generations and everybody can find something at David's. And I think that that's really important. And it's very inclusive. When somebody comes in and has that experience and they find that dress, that they feel like $1 million, and they feel confident, and they feel comfortable, and they feel encouraged. And I think that just through those, through that experience with the stylist and them having the product knowledge and the ability to really share, the awesome assortment that we have and making them feel good. I think just by that process, that everyone feels empowered. The stylist feels empowered because they have the knowledge and they're able to share it, and they've listened to the bride, and the bride feels empowered because she made that choice on her own, and she feels not only empowered, but she feels special. Beautiful dresses have a voice, and they are talking to you as you're looking at them. And I think that, I always had said this, my entire life. When you go into a store, whether you know it or not, you have an emotional response. And I think when you look at a dress, you have an emotional response. And once you've tried it on, you'll have a different emotional response. And I think that knowing about that process, like when you see something, how does it make you feel? And being aware of wow, or oh, or everything has a personality. And I think that once you kind of look at it that way, you'll look at the assortment differently. You really have to look at each dress as, how special is this dress? What need does this dress, fill in the assortment for the void, for a certain bride, a certain price, a certain silhouette, a certain fabric. And each dress kind of comes alive, and it's its own being. And I think that you watch the dress go from an idea to a sketch to a muslin to a final sample. It just sort of evolves in front of your eyes. And what something looks like on a piece of paper as it becomes sort of like a human, it's really kind of a really beautiful thing. At the end of the day, everything we do is all about the customer. And, we're in a service business, but when we're there also for a really specific moment in time in her life, which is really important. And it's kind of nice to connect with somebody, at that point. You're somebody that they'll remember forever. So make it awesome.